Hello students, how are you? Now today I have decided to teach you a brief summary and theme of The Collector of Treasure by Bessie Head. Now this video lecture is for the students of semester 6. Now let's start. Um, Bessie Head was born on July 6, 1937 in a mental hospital in South Africa. She was the child of a white mother and a black father. Head's mother had been judged insane for fraternizing with a colored man and committed to mental hospital while pregnant. After her birth, Head was adopted by colored women and raised in mixed-race community of Natal, South Africa. Head's birth mother died in the asylum in 1943. In 1964, Head migrated to Botswana and began her career as a novelist. When Rain Clouds Gather was her first novel, and this novel was published in 1968. In this novel, Head focuses on racial hatred and political corruption of her time. Head's other novel includes Maru, A Question of Power, Siru. Siru is a village name in Botswana. Village of Rain Wind, a story set in the village where Head lived. Now I am going to revise her achievements and her novel's name. Head's first novel was When Rain Clouds Gather, that was published in 1968. In this she focuses on racial hatred and political corruption of her time. Her another achievements includes Maru, A Question of Power, Siru, and this is village name, Village of Rain Wind, a story set in the village where Head lived. Her another collection are Tales of Tenderness and Power, A Collection of Treasures, and A Woman Alone autobiographical writings. These are their achievements. Bessie Head died on April 17, 1986 at the age of 49. Now this is the tale of Botswana Village. Botswana Village Tales was written a longer period of time than her novels. The story were written only after she had found a home for herself in Botswana, where the African experience is continuous and unbroken. These 13 short narratives were assembled with a great deal of care. As Head aimed, the aim was to shape the individual stories in such a way that one trailed into another. All the tales are presented as pure fiction, though some have been derived from a variety of oral and written historical sources as well as anecdotes gathered from Head's own life in Siru. The rebellious tone that marks these tales serves as an anecdote to colonial dictum of whites being the saviors of society. On the surface, these short stories appears to be simple pictures of women's lives in villages of Botswana. Now look at in her stories. In her stories, as in her novels, she emphasizes the sad plight of women in the prevailing social milieu. Many of them vividly portray the struggle that Botswana women are engaged in. They not only share the social operation with men, but are also required to fight the traditional patriarchal setup that claims superiority over them. The truth of a woman's marginality is generally lost in the malaise of colonial subjugation. The Collector of Treasures is remarkable for the large number of its stories that focus on the doubly colonized women with all their strength and weaknesses. Bessie Head's story, The Collector of Treasure, is a dramatic indictment of the oppressive attitudes. The meaning of indictments is something that shows how bad something is. Oppressive attitudes of men in her culture toward the woman and children. They are supposed to care for and love, had developed theme by contrasting the marriage of her protagonist, Decalady, and her husband, Garisgio. Bessie Head's title, The Collector of Treasures, is tremendously ironic on the surface, for it would seem that what Decalady has collected in her lifetime has been not treasure but heartbreak. Now give attention on this line. It would seem that what Decalady has collected, she has collected in her lifetime, has been not treasure but heartbreak. Its opening passages showing how well Decalady has adjusted to prison life and the closeness of a woman who have been placed in prison for the same crime shows that Decalady really does not feel her life has been that bad. Decalady also observes what she observes throughout her hard life. She has looked beneath the surface and collected small treasures, and these give her the strength to go on. Decalady Mokopi is the protagonist of this text. Her story shows the reader the immense challenges faced by women in the society, as well as their remarkable determination and resilience. Decalady expresses little sorrow for her crime, which was murder by castration. The meaning of castration is the removal of sex organ, as the women begin their work in the prison. They observe that Decalady's hands of strange power are especially skillful with sewing, knitting, and weaving. She has in fact reared her 3 children, largely through her own effort, because her husband has abandoned after 4 years of marriage. Decalady accepts the tender compassion possible in friendship. She was the collector of such treasures. Having established the protagonist's complexity of character, the narrator begins the second section with degradation on the 2 kinds of man. What were the 2 kinds? 2 kinds of man in the society, with cultural background analyzing the evolution of the type of man who bears no responsibility for his family or for his community. Garisgio is introduced as a model of the man who is a broken wreck with no inner resources at all. Narrator sets the second type of man, modeled by Paul the Bolo. He devotes himself entirely to his family stability and to the community's well-being. His inner resources give him the power to create himself anew. The social imbalances between man and woman are evident in this story. The social imbalances between man and woman are evident in this story. The character of treasures, while the woman struggles for her own individual freedom, the man embraces his and neglects his duties as a father and husband. Freedom is not being alone without responsibility. Now you mark this line or you give attention on this line. Freedom is not being alone without responsibility. It is being loved and storing treasures of friendship throughout life. Now, there is a question. What is the question that arises? What should be the theme of this story? The theme of this story is guilty and punishment. The two most common themes that occur throughout these stories are how the separation of power and spirit leads to a loss of sanity and home, along with how patriarchal powers have dehumanizing effects on women. The third person omniscient narrator gives an otherwise unventured point of view through the deep understanding of the individual character's thought and feeling. In her finely constructed stories, she continues to explore good and with a special reference to certain traditions, evil, including tribal witchcraft. The plight of women in such conditions is highlighted in particular. This is first demonstration in Another Evening at the Climb. As the author writes, in a state of tensions, she awaited the return of her husband. In this, the author examines and depicts the feeling of the main character in her action. Bessie Head develops the theme through the comparison of the marriage between two families. Now, students, after finishing the summary and theme of this story, I shall see you in the next story. Now till then, bye, thank you. Okay, students.